Mike, you around?
Yeah? Were you?
Do we have a new lobby?
Oh, yeah. Are you not in the game?
I
The draft is
just
in.
what?
Yeah. Uh,
Oh, well, I was loading into the game, and when I got into the game, it showed everybody has disconnected. Fun
all right.
times.
Well, I'm
I
in the
just
lobby.
disconnected and I'm reconnecting. Maybe that will fix it.
Yeah. So,
We only had one load in, right?
yeah, one failed, and then now we're in one that
Oh,
seems to be
okay.
working, and it
Coolio.
says you're
Whew!
connected.
I thought like, what the hell is going on? And there nobody was saying anything, so I was like, is there a remake? Is there not a remake? But in any case, guys, welcome back to the Miniski Pro Gaming League season number 6. We are HeflaTV, I am Coucher, and well, I guess you already know that I will be casting with Mike Loris.
Yeah. So it's good that we ironed that out before it got too bad. But this is going to be game number two. Rave currently up 1-0, and they're going to be facing down a Terrorblade, and they have no access to Centaur anymore. So we might be seeing something different from Chrissy, or we have to be seeing something different from Chrissy. It is, I would say, definitely ban worthy from Insidious to do so.
It definitely is. I mean, Rave, they've been running the Centaur for at least 5 games in a row now that I have seen them. Make it even 6, as I saw one game of them versus Poker Face as well. But it may open up that Chrissy Nature's Prophet potentially, which also has been so damn good the 2 times I have seen it. But they do start with a Lion as well as a Lycan. Lion, of course, will be extremely good up against Terrorblade. Not only just to burst the Terrorblade down with Finger of Death, also to deal with the illusions with both the Hex as well as the Mana Drain. But Nature Prophet definitely is a possibility considering that they already have a Lycan.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting opening from Rave. Kind of interesting from Insidious, also heavily prioritizing the puck. I guess they really want that initiation on the Lycan. Jump in for the silence is a great way of shutting him down. Also, I mean, Lion in general, kind of a weird hero to see this early on, but it's great versus Terrorblade. The Hex is great versus the puck. And right now, just in a vacuum, this Lion pick seems like it's going to be pretty decent. Insidious, though, can punish this because Lion does need, as far as supports go, a little bit more experience, so he's gonna need a little bit more time before he's fully operational.
That is definitely true. So if Rave are going for the early aggression, the early rotations, they better have them work out as well. Or other than that, maybe have somebody who can farm up stacks and just have the Lion next to him while he's farming just to make sure that he gets the XP from it as well.
Yeah,
But looking at the next set of bans, Lich taken up in Idol. Although Lich wouldn't have been too bad for themselves in a sense, it's just ice armor up the towers and slow down the pushing. But Rave banning out the non-dying of all heroes. I guess in Idol they did run it up against First Departure, right?
hmm
Yeah, oh yeah, Shagasaurus was on it, so I guess kind of a respect ban or what else would warrant an undying ban?
I don't really know. I mean, it's such a fringe pick. It just has to be a respect ban. Though Rave were playing at the time of Insidious, so unless someone was telling them what Insidious went for, then they shouldn't know about this. That being said, Undying is a pretty powerful hero against Lycan. Is pretty good against Lion. If you could drain any strength out of him, then suddenly he's at 300 HP and you could punch him down pretty easily. Is a dangerous hero for sure, but I don't know if it's ban worthy. That being said, Insidious, they're going to ban out the Jakiro as well as the Lich, so kind of respecting Rave. Also, at the same time, Lich and Jakiro would have been fantastic with their lineup. Jakiro with Lycan especially being especially devastating.
Yeah, the Jakiro would have definitely been exactly like you said, devastating. The best word to describe it, I think. But not to be Rave, of course, they can still go for that Venture Spirit if they want to. Just another solid stun, and they do really love that hero. Plus, Vengeance Aura to help with the pushes, Howl of Terror for earlier and faster Roshan's. So, wouldn't be surprised at all if Rave went for that. Also, the Witch Doctor is still a possibility for them as well, I think.
Yeah, so Rave have themselves quite a few possibilities. They would like to avoid the projectile stuns because against Puck it's a little bit weaker. That being said, Witch Doctor is just great against Terrorblade. Faceless Void is in the pool, and even though he got nerfed, I think this might be a great game for him, just because Chronosphere is good against pretty much any hero you see on the screen right now. So it would be a really nice lockdown counter and pick for any team that decides to pick him up if they do want to. But Terrorblade Faceless Void is a little bit awkward, so maybe not from either side. They're working with melee cores after all. But that being said, Rave are going to ban out the Tidehunter as their 4th ban. It's an overall powerful hero, especially when you're dealing with the Lycan, and we'll see what they want to pick up here. I don't really know where you go after a Lion pickup. Nature's Prophet's still in the pool. They could just try to outpush Insidious, I guess.
Well, they definitely could. I mean, I think Nature Prophet plus a Shadow Shaman wouldn't be all that bad, especially because Shadow Shaman, even more lockdown between a Lion and Shadow Shaman would be so sick, but they go for a Magnus pick. Well, Reverse Polarity, it can, or has the potential at the very least, to be one of the best lockdowns in the game. Plus, of course, having Empower onto Lycan makes it so that Lycan can be even scarier as a pure right-clicker as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty dangerous combination. RP is another great stun to lay onto the Terrorblade, make sure that he doesn't get his Sunder off, make sure that he's not doing any right-click damage. But Insidious, this Dazzle pick, I actually really like this in response to the Magnus. Assuming your Dazzle doesn't get hit with the RP, Shadow Wave as well as Weave is going to be huge in keeping your allies alive. And Weave, or Shallow Grave onto a Terrorblade is freaking scary because he wants to be at low HP so that he could Sunder you.
It's going to be so damn hard. Of course, I think Sunder also has that minimum health that you can swap out from.
Mm-hmm.
So it might, but yeah, the combination definitely can be strong. And of course, even if you don't manage to Sunder or you're already Sundered, it's on cooldown or something, even then just having that extra 5 seconds to just go berserk in a fight might make the difference. But we'll see what Rave want to go for now. They're picking up a Sven as well, so they're once again going just rather melee heavy here.
Oh man, all of the melee heroes. Sven Magnus is a pretty old combination, but it is still very potent. You cleave through people, kill everyone in one hit. It feels pretty good, but it's pretty hard to line up. They have a lot of bulk on the front lines, but again, the lack of ranged support is definitely going to be hurting them moving forward. They have to pick up a ranged hero next, else it's going to just be too messy. Insidious, they have Dazzle to punish these melee heroes, but that's about it. Puck, I guess, gets a little bit better as well. It's easier to land your skills, maybe get a 3-man coil, 3-man silence, something like that. But right now, Insidious don't really have any great heroes to punish melee heroes.
They still have 2 picks to go for to just get those heroes. I guess Tidehunter was banned, which with the Anchor Smash definitely could have been a pain in the ass. Plus, of course, Ravage pretty much hitting everybody thanks to them just being in melee range. I mean, if they really want to, an Enigma is still possible, but up against the amount of lockdown that Rave has, just Stormhammer, Lion with the Hex as well as the Earth Spike, and even Magnus with the Reverse Polarity, might be a little bit too greedy. Of course, Puck could set it up reasonably enough with just a Dream Coil, but what do they go for? I mean, Dazzle, he's not the best of roamers, unless you go for something like a Shadow Demon now, which wouldn't be the worst pick, also something defensively, and Disruption into the Heal Bomb is really just hard to go up against early, but I'm not too sure what they're going to go for here.
The Shadow Demon actually sounds pretty good. You're going to be able to siege with Terrorblade illusions at a certain point, and it's going to be something that they can do, although against everything that Rave have to deal with illusions, it may not be the best. They would certainly benefit from having another defensive hero. Having Puck on offense as well as Terrorblade is a lot of damage, and it's going to be almost enough to deal with what Rave have throwing at them, but again, Rave are very tanky, so Insidious, they're going to want to pick up a hero that's able to put out some damage. Earthshaker is a fantastic hero in order to deal with melee heroes, so I like this pick from Insidious.
Yeah, and I just like that they picked up something with his stun as well. I was actually thinking a potential Vengeful Spirit for them. It boosts up Terrorblade pretty damn much with the Vengeance Aura, as well as helping Dazzle do more damage with that Howl of Terror coming out for the minus armor. But Earthshaker is just as fine, like you said, just excellent up against melee heroes, especially if they're even creating some extra units, which Lycan will be with the Wolves, potentially a Necrobook as well. So, definitely a good pickup here. A solid lockdown. And at the moment, I would still favor Rave just because their lineup is so damn scary with just the 3 melee heroes they have.
We actually have a little bit of advice in the chat. They ran this lineup with Ancient Apparition as their last. Don't really know how I'll feel about that pick, but certainly good against Terrorblade and Dazzle, so wouldn't be surprised to see that. They're going to ban out the Elder Titan, another hero that is fantastic against the melee lineup of Rave. And Insidious, they are going to be needing one more core moving forward, most likely going to be handling himself alone in a lane. A Clockwork would be pretty damn good. Again, anything to mess around with the positioning of Rave is what Insidious Idol want to pick up. And Dazzle Earthshaker, it's a kind of defensive-oriented support duo, so they're most likely not going to get the biggest of roams going, but still, just securing farm for the Terrorblade is worthwhile.
It definitely is just wow. Rave, 4-man melee lineup, no worries for them. Of course, it gives them even more just lockdown now. Some scouting coming out from the Nyx Assassin ultimate as well as in Citadel, they do go for the Enigma in the end. Does this mean Earthshaker or Dazzle Core? Or do they once again just run like a tri-lane with Terrorblade and just have Enigma solo lane?
Yeah, Enigma solo versus any melee hero is most likely going to be a one lane for the Enigma. Black Hole is fantastic against all these melees, and really, we saw this, or I saw this, I don't really remember what game anymore, but Midnight Pulse is going to be huge here. Like, Sven, Mag, and Lycan are all more on the tanky end, and if they are clustered up, and they will be because they're all melee, then they're just going to get absolutely wrecked by that Midnight Pulse. And then, of course, the Black Hole. But Midnight Pulse is definitely going to be doing the most of the damage. So this is a very delicate situation for Rave. If they get off to a good start, it's going to be great for them, but it's certainly not going to be enough because of the fact that they will be working with this inherent disadvantage for a very long portion of the game. And if they let it drag on too long, the positioning might just end up killing them in the end.
It might, so of course Enigma, I do believe it's a game where he more or less just has to go for a BKB to be able to get the Black Hole off. Otherwise, just a Spike Carapace of Phoenix Assassin will completely screw him over already. But to introduce the lineups for the last game for the day, Chu will be playing the Terrorblade for Insidious side on the Radiant side, leaving Shagasaurus on a potential core Earthshaker even, with Chibix on the Enigma, Poloson to play that support as well, and the last one will be Ysera on the puck.
And on Rave, we have the Lycan being played by Jo, taking Feral Impulse level 1. I don't know about that, but it's done. Cast is going to be playing the Lion with Ninja Boogie, playing the support Sven. Chrissy is going to be playing the Mag on the bottom lane, and Royer is going to be handling the Nyx mid, it looks like. They're just going to camp out for the runes, but support Sven, I don't really like this. He needs a lot of mana, and as you can see right now, with 3 branches in his inventory, only has enough mana for 1 Stormhammer. As good as it is, I don't really think it's going to be enough. Although if he does find success, he can transition later on.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan either. I mean, Rave King is so much better in that support role. I'm not too sure if they were expecting to get a carry Sven to begin with, but just as they saw the draft evolve, they had to switch it up, or I'm not too sure. We actually, I think, had a discussion maybe yesterday about the support Sven, and just the mana pool is god-awful, and having only 1 clarity really isn't enough, because that makes it so that you're gonna get like 1, maximum 2 extra Stormhammers. It's just not enough before you have to go all the way back to base.
Alright, so here we go. It's going to be Sven who's going to get his boots and then Blink Dagger, and then he's going to get Aghanim's, and then everyone on Rave is going to be hitting like a truck. Yeah?
Okay, well, I can see it happening in theory, but I'm not sure if he's gonna get to the Blink Aghanim's.
You have to believe. Believe
Okay.
in the Aghanim, Sven. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
I actually have seen it once. I think the team won as well, but they were so far ahead as it was. One combo I would like to see is just Aghanim Sven with a Meepo, for example. That could be pretty damn sick, because Meepo is all about base damage and just so many Meepos getting the extra damage.
That would be absurd. I would love to see that combination, mostly because there'd be
Plus
Sven and
throw in
Meepo.
the Troll Warlord as well there, man.
Alright, well, maybe it's about time to stop the daydreaming, because realistically that's probably not going to happen. The top lane is going to be handled by Shagasaurus solo. This is technically a core shaker, however, he's going to be getting about support amounts of farm. So this shaker is going to be getting, in theory, more experience, but in actuality he's just going to be a third support for Insidious.
Yeah, I was actually expecting that he's gonna get a little bit more, maybe them going for an aggressive tri-lane of sorts, or I'm not too sure, since Shagasaurus has been in the farming role, I think every single game we've casted of them today. So, at least he's getting something, getting some levels going, and levels will be good enough, just getting the earlier access to the Echo Slam will definitely help just try to defend up against pushing. But in the mid lane overall, Nyx Assassin gonna get a lot of levels, and if he gets really aggressive with the Vendetta, he can make so much happen early on, and overall mana burn up against Puck is so damn good. As you can see, Ysera completely out of mana already.
Yeah, mana burn I don't believe is dodgeable by the puck. It's not a projectile, so it shouldn't be. And every single time you cast it, it's going to be Puck taking quite a heavy hit of damage. Not the heaviest intelligence hero in the game, so Puck is going to be burned pretty hard by that. And at the same time, Chrissy chasing down Polosan. Skiro's already been used. One more hit in a Shockwave will kill him off, but he's going to back off for now. Still, Polosan's in a little bit of danger. Has Chu to back him up, but this is the Terrorblade forced to support his own support. That means he's not farming in the lane, so Chrissy is being quite a nuisance down here, and really, with the lack of solid stuns on this lane for Insidious, killing off this mag is going to be very hard, if not impossible.
Man, Chrissy overall just seems to be such a solid player, to be honest, no matter what hero he's on. Of course, offlane will still be hard up against Dazzle, although Enigma being in the jungle does make it a little bit easier, so at least it doesn't have to deal with two supports at the same time as Chibix. He's farming up rather fast as well, has his Soul Ring ready, which will just definitely speed up the process even more. But Lycan, of course, safe lane, free farmer. Actually, never mind, he's gone into the jungle as Ninja Boogie now gets farm from the lane. So actually, I really like the transition when Cheo picked up his Morbid Mask and suddenly in the jungle, just making it so that both teams have a jungler now.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I like this adaptation from Rave. Sven is definitely a hero that benefits a lot from experience and gold, so you generally want to give him some of it. That's another reason why I don't really like support Sven, because he's going to be lacking on that. But Lycan is a hero that once he gets to his level 2 wolves is going to be able to jungle. And there's no reason to not do that. So yeah, now Rave are essentially getting an entirely new source of experience and gold. So a really nice adaptation.
Look at what Chrissy did. He just skewered Polos onto the high ground, whereas he himself still managed to stay on in the river. So just Chrissy on the Magnus being just 100% super annoying.
And unfortunately, the Enigma is going to have to walk all the way over there for Midnight Pulse to kill off these trees, because that is the only thing that Insidious have in order to chop these down. So a little bit of dead time for Polosan, but really he couldn't be doing that much anyway. Chu was actually going to come in for some tangos. Once again, it's going to be the Terrorblade supporting his support, and Chrissy, he's just constantly forcing the Terrorblade out of lane, not because of low health or anything, just because he's putting his support in such awkward positions. So this mag is going to be doing his job pretty well. Still not getting the most experience, but he's doing just fine. And really, what more could you possibly ask for than your mag being this disruptive in a lane where ordinarily he's just going to be completely shut down?
He, I mean, almost has his Arcane Boots already. With one more creep kill, he's gonna have it as well. And just one of the biggest strengths of a Magnus, I think, is the Shockwave, the low mana cost, and the low cooldown of it as well. I mean, 90-second mana cost. Of course, now he doesn't have Skewer anymore. Has to be a little bit careful, Chibix. Places down this new high ground ward as well, which will spot out the courier, bringing out the Arcane Boots, so Chrissy gonna be able to spam out a little bit more, and this push just completely put to a halt, and Enigma is actually not jungling all that fast at the moment, especially compared to Lycan, who is already level 6.5.
Yeah, usually it's going to be a little bit faster, but well, either way, it's going to be slow and steady for both sides. It's going to benefit Rave a little bit more because they do have such tanky heavy hitters in the late game, but still getting this Terrorblade a little bit more time, holding off on the aggression is going to be perfectly worthwhile. At the meantime, Ysera is also going to be looking to a Blink Dagger of his own. Same thing for the Earthshaker. So really, it's okay if these teams are going to be both playing it a little bit slower, as we do see a race for the rune. Royer is going to land an Impale on Polosan. He's going to get a couple hits off. Shallow Grave is there, and with the Puck rotating in, that's going to be the Nyx Assassin warded off. However, here comes a hasted mag, and I don't think Insidious know about this. Polosan's going to run into a very, very scary Rhino, although it's going to be him messing with the courier. He's running the complete wrong direction. First blood is still yet to be claimed.
To be honest, if the courier didn't have that speed boost on for that same duration, might have just gone down. Chrissy could have chased him down. I do believe the flying couriers actually take additional damage from melee heroes now, these days. So, 2 right clicks probably would have been enough already, and Mag having the haste would have been able to chase it down as well. And, okay, Ninja Boogie asks for Earthshaker to just stop spamming the Fisher out.
Maybe they'll come to a gentleman's agreement. I won't Stormhammer you if you don't Fissure me. Of course, that'll benefit the Earthshaker, or benefit the Sven quite a bit, since Shaker has a Soul Ring invested. However, it looks like the Sven is going to give up on this gentleman's fight and call in some bigger guns, because Lion and Lycan both in the area, and Shaggysaurus is going to get hit with the Stormhammer. Here comes the Wolves. Already shapeshifted up is Jo, and now the Hex on Shaggysaurus. This is going to be First Blood. Who's going to claim it? It's going to be Lion of all people. Well, it's First Blood regardless, going the way of Rave, and Ninja Boogie gets his revenge.
Ninja Boogie, he even popped his Scott Strength in hopes to get the last hit for it, I think. He really wanted the revenge, but God Strength really not necessary, and thanks to that, doesn't even have enough mana for another Stormhammer. So probably, maybe farming up the A camp in the jungle and then going all the way home, or never mind, just all the way home it is for him. Making no use whatsoever, but Rior mid lane uses the Vendetta, should be safe though, I think. Chibix, you want to go for the Black Hole, I think. Lacked a little bit of mana, even after the Soul Ring though. A little bit unfortunate, but Rior makes a nice escape. The sentries were down, but he still managed to escape.
Yeah, now he knows that the mid lane is not going to be entirely safe for him. The first sentry, I don't believe, was revealed to him, the one on the left, but the one on the right, certainly he knows that that area is a little bit deadly. So he's going to know not to roam around just yet, and Royer actually hasn't been doing that much in this game. He is level 8, so this Nyx Assassin is capable of killing off people fairly easily, especially if he has a little bit of help, but he hasn't had an opportunity to, and now with Vendetta being used defensively, he will continue to play this relatively passive Nyx Assassin role, which is very uncharacteristic of the hero. I would have liked to see him rotate off of this lane at least once. Maybe try to go for this Terrorblade, because this Terrorblade has a pretty easy time down this bottom lane. Actually has 30 denies. Holy crap. Chu has been managing this lane pretty well by himself.
Of course, it's not like he has had too much contention, although they did try to go for a semi-push earlier on with the Enigma. And also, I would like to see the Nyx Assassin roam around. Maybe the positionings haven't been all that great for their lanes and for the other heroes as well. I mean, top lane doesn't really need assistance as they had 3 heroes deal with that Earthshaker anyway, who does have himself some Tranquil Boots now. So he's all ready to just roam around with the Soul Ring and Tranquil, should have enough mana to just keep on spamming the Fissure. But mid lane Ysera might be in some trouble. He has sentries, of course, and never mind, Rior just gonna stun up the creeps, farm them up. Cheodo joins it as well, and is he gonna go into Roche now? It would be so obvious if he rotated there. Maybe just try to pressure mid.
Well, it's going to be Nyx Assassin going into his Vendetta, and he's going to circle around, possibly looking for the bottom lane. There is a Courier, and I'm pretty sure if you hit it with a Vendetta, then it will just die. And Royer is looking to run perfectly into it. It might be there. He's going to see it, and one whack. There it is. The damage is going to be enough, killing off the Courier. Not exactly a hero kill, but it's still a rotation for the Nyx Assassin, and it's still going to be very much so worth it.
Oh, but top lane cast. There's the mid-lane pulse. Malphite comes out as well with the Fissure. Should be an easy kill. Eidolon's helping out a little bit as well. Gets the Earthspike onto Shagasaurus. Makes little difference though, as this might be tier 1 as well with all the 6 Eidolons helping out.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be at least a hand force from Rave, but instead we have Jo and Ninja Boogie both in the Roshan pit, God Strength being committed to this, and this is going to be a Roshan for a tier 1 tower. This is actually an okay trade for Rave, since with this Aegis they'll be able to play a lot more aggressively, especially onto this bottom lane and try to shut down this Terrorblade somewhat, but yeah, it's going to be, I mean, the tower is probably going to be doomed regardless. They get something out of it, and as you said, it would have been really obvious if the Lycan was doing that just by himself, but actually it's going to be 2 towers. Suddenly things are not looking that great for Rave, and I actually have to go tend to something real quick, so I'm going to be right back.
Okay, so at the moment, the 2 towers definitely going down, favoring Ethereal. 1 Roshan, not gonna make up for it. Rave, do they have any towers low themselves? Nope, not really. Every tower is above 80% HP more or less. So Lycan, not coming into effect quite yet, although he has the items to do so, Vlads and the medallion as well. No boots yet, as bottom lane Chrissy might be in some trouble. Zera has that invis, which should be an easy kill. They have the Sunder if it really comes down to that. Chrissy, he's hanging out. There's the silence with the Dream Core coming out as well. Can he actually escape somehow? Never mind, he breaks the coil himself. He loses the orb to get the kill, and that's a Blink Dagger finish. And Ysera a huge kill, because the Blink Dagger on Puck suddenly makes him that much scarier. But in the meantime, looks like it's Ysera. They were continuing to push on the top lane. Chagasaurus still hanging around. Can he go for the TP out? He's gonna be there in time. No Hex, no Earthspike from Cast. So nice escape, and just the Illusion Army from Chu with the Metamorphosis. Chibix is there with the Eidolons. Riordo comes in with the Invis. He's gonna go for it. Oh, but the stun misses completely. Only onto the Illusions. Failed on it a little bit. Chrissy can't really follow up anymore. Otherwise, if the stun had connected only onto 1, just skewer in, reverse polarity, even if it is only for 1 kill. I think it would have been worth it, but in the mid lane, Ysera might fall down. Nope, Shagasaurus comes in to help Cheo. Can finish up the kill, but the Dire Courier is the one to go down this time around. So both teams losing a Courier. It's just extremely unfortunate, but now Ninja Boogie, he's in so much trouble, activates the Warcry, don't think it's gonna be enough, he has the Stormhammer as well, will he put it to good use here? He's actually going on to Chibix cast, he's gonna arrive as well, Finger of Death, they're gonna reverse polarity, I think, never mind, the Hex is there on Chu so far, they have the reverse polarity, they will spend it, the Cheo, he comes in with the right click, the Sunder comes out to Chu, he's still alive, Oh man, it was so damn close, but the shockwave comes through. A few more right clicks, that's all they need. But Blink, Hex, they don't manage to save Chu. But they get the counter kill at the very least. And now Easter is gonna go down as well, I think. Nope, never mind, Cheo's ultimate, it ends. There's the Dream Coil to make sure Cheo goes down under the tower here. But the Wolves, they come out. I'm not too sure if he's going to escape, even with the Aegis. I think he's going to go down twice already. Polosan taking a lot of damage with Chegasers with a nice Fisher. Makes it so the Polosan doesn't die there. Has the Shallow Grave as well, but more TPs to come, Cheo. Well, you are royally screwed. You're going to go down. Even Chibik's TP's in for it. Just to make 100% sure, but in the end, I guess the fight recap just doesn't take all that long. It took it like three different fights, I think, here. But
that was quite a series of events. I don't know how the Dyer's Courier actually went down. It died in such an awkward position in the middle lane. I didn't even see anyone there when it was going down, so yeah, not really sure what happened. Regardless, Insidious, they take the Aegis off of the Lycan, they take a nice series of fights, and the Terrorblade, even though he didn't actually survive off of that, certainly lived a lot longer, and that just brought more time for his allies to come in, and that's going to mean that they have enough momentum to take down a tier 1 tower at the very least. Yeah,
and oh man, Chegasers actually has enough money for his Blink Dagger now. He's gonna go pick it up on Earthshaker as well. Chibix has the mech finished, has the Black Hole off cooldown. I think they're actually gonna pressure it. Or sure feels like it at the moment.
Well, they have to worry about Ninja Boogie off to the sidelines. He is very awkwardly in trees, and I don't think anything is going to indicate that he's there. This could be good initiation, although Shaggysaurus and Chivix are kind of... Oh man, this is so awkward for Ninja Boogie. If he gets caught off here, right, then suddenly Rave, they have to sack this tower. They're going to initiate Blink Dagger in onto Chu. No follow-up Skier, however, and now Ninja Boogie thinking about moving forward. Sunder is cooling down, however. It's not the longest cooldown in the game, so he will have that, and now teleport out from Shaggysaurus. Here comes Ninja Boogie. No, nothing gonna happen. Successful defense, I guess, at the very least.
They were just holding on, and I mean, Ninja Boogie didn't even have any proper vision as mid lane tower. It gets denied. Geodo will get the run out, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be enough. He even picks up the illusion rune midway. So tower denied by the Earthshaker. A little bit less gold for Insidious, or for Rave, that is. But what do the graphs even say? Wow, just as always, man, 6.82, the games are so up and down, but bottom lane, they're gonna get the Black Hole onto 4 enemy heroes, Spike Carapace stops it immediately. There's the reverse polarity, only onto 1, they're gonna get Chu, actually never mind, he cancelled it the first time. Now 2 heroes down, Chrissy will fall in return, Rior dropping low, as is everybody else. And Polosan, can he clean up? Yes, he can. The Eidolon's actually doing the majority of the damage there. So it ended up as a 3-for-2, man. The Black Hole could have been so beautiful, but just Spike Carapace.
Spike Carapace is just an absolute pain, but that's really the weakness of Rave. They came in, they had to cluster really tightly because they're all melee, and they got punished so hard because of it. Lycan's going to take a tier 1 tower up on top lane while the rest of that is happening, but that exchange certainly not worth it for Rave. They didn't have RP, or they didn't have RP, but it's on cooldown, so I don't know. Either way, it was irrelevant, so not a good exchange for Rave, and even though it looked to be an okay situation, the Black Hole is just so good against these melee heroes that they can't afford to be running in like that.
They definitely can't, and I mean, this time around, it kind of worked out for them thanks to the Spike Carapace, but that's definitely not going to be timed like that every single time, I think. And the reverse polarity actually was used, but I think it was only on the Terrorblade. He wanted to use it on the Terrorblade, then cancelled it, but still ended up using it on only the Terrorblade after all anyway. And of course the Puck, he had a really nice champion. I think he caught like 3 heroes with the Dream Coil and the Silence both. So nice fight for Insidious. Looking at the graphs again, as well, you can see net worth, it is zeroed out completely. XP 1,500 almost, about 1,200 for Rave. So just as even as a game as any almost. But of course Terrorblade, he's farming up at a reasonable rate, which is always scary.
Yeah, Lycan's farming as well, and we really saw the power of a shapeshifted Lycan when he was diving that bottom area. Didn't get any kills, but he brought very large amount of people low very, very quickly. So Lycan, if he's able to get this farm, then he'll be able to wreak havoc. That being said, it's going to be Cast who's going to be on the receiving end first. Coil onto 2. Royer's going to snap it. Cast is not going to, but he's going to die regardless. Royer is going to be able to spike Carapace and Vendetta away. Now Ninja Boogie and Chrissy both in the area to help out. One is actually smoked up. Mag is going to have that RP available for this fight. In the meantime, Jo is going to continue on with the split pushing. They're just playing 4v5 right now. Here's an RP. Gonna land onto a whole bunch. Ninja Boogie with the hammer follow-up, as well as the impale. This cleave is going to be there. However, Chu gets saved for now, and now the Sunder onto Ninja Boogie. Everyone's dropping very low for Rave. They're going to die. At least the Nick Assassin Sven does survive. Here comes Jo. Shapeshifted already. He's going to try to go for Colosson. Stuck in the corner. That's going to be the death of the Dazzle. But now Jo has to fight his way out of here because the creeps are here. The Cleave is going to help him dig through that a little bit faster. Now he's going to go for Chu. I don't think the Terrorblade has enough to survive this. The Shapeshift should be wearing off shortly, and it will. Needs another stun, Stormhammer, something. There's Stormhammer. That'll kill him off, although Magnus is going to take that one. Jo coming in at the nick of time, and just what an RP from the Magnus, and also what follow-up. Sometimes those RPs land, but there's nothing to follow up. The Impale from the Lion, as well as Stormhammer from Sven, it doesn't really get much better than that.
I mean, I would have loved to see, to be honest, them not stagger the stun as much. They could have timed them a little bit better because it was like RP, yes, then I think the Stormhammer and Impale pretty much landed at the same time, but doesn't really matter if you can get so much damage into the enemy. The turnaround was almost there for Insidious Idol. If only they had the Black Hole ready at that time, could have been just perfect, but all in all, excellent fight for Rave there. 10 to 9 the kill score, the graphs going a little bit steeper in the favor of Rave now, but still not a huge lead by any means. I mean, XP 3,500, yes, all well and good, but gold only 12 or 1,300.
We do have a crucial item being picked up for the Lion. A Blink Hex is pretty much the best way you could start a fight, and it's a lot safer than a Magnus jumping in first. So Cast can now initiate pretty much by himself, and if he finds a support alone, Impale, or Earth Spike, I have to stop calling that Impale. Earth Spike into Finger of Death is most of the time going to get you a killer, at the very least bring someone very low. So a nice key item for the Lion to pick up, and really, as long as the 4 heroes from Rave, not Lycan, are doing their job and landing these decent RPs, then Lycan's just going to be split pushing and being just an absolute nuisance. And he's going to be even more deadly now that he has a BKB pretty much completed.
Well, I mean, the newest changes were as well that you can empower him through the BKB, so that's definitely going to be a huge part, and doesn't really have to worry about anything. Black Hole, yes, it can still disable you, but the damage output after that isn't all that scary yet. But oh, Cast might be in trouble once again. The 4-step is there. Dream Core completely whiffs as well. So Rave, if they can just get some health regeneration somehow onto Cast, it just might be enough for them to go initiate themselves now. I would really like to see an Urn of Shadows picked up, to be honest.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too late for that, but definitely a couple minutes ago. And now blink forward for an RP. Gonna catch 2. Stormhammer to follow up. God's Strength popped as well. Here comes Jo. Already in the BKB, but I don't think this BKB is gonna do jack. He can't actually go in reliably. Here comes Chu from the side. This is a 10-second BKB charge wasted. Not even used for an escape, just completely wasted. Also the RP down. Not the cleanest fight for Rave. I think the Mag definitely expected to get a couple more in that RP.
He definitely did. I think he was also angling to just get the Enigma most of all. But Enigma was just barely out from there, and after that, I actually have to commend Rave to just see the Enigma, spot him out, and we're like, guys, we cannot run into them. I mean, Ninja Boogie as well as Cheo, they both wanted to go in, but they were just stutter stepping back and forth so often. But now, it's just like they know that the just cooldowns are there, and they're gonna go for the push.
RP generally is a skill that is up when you need it, but this time not going to be the case. It was just used and wasted. This tower is going to go down, whether it's denied or hit by the Insidious side. Doesn't really matter. Lycan's going to try to make a trade happen, but Rave, they seem to be in position to try to defend this. It's going to be extremely hard. Maybe if they get some chip damage, and maybe if they burst Terrorblade down, but not if this happens. Here's initiation as they all get initiated upon. That's going to be Nyx and Lion dead. Ninja Boogie off to the side, trying to book it, and he will be successful in doing so, although the Blink Daggers are numerous on Insidious, and they should be able to chase the Sven down if they really want to. They're going to be happy with what they got, and that's the tower as well as 2 kills. The Blink Daggers from Insidious, they are pretty legit. There's Blink Daggers everywhere in this game, in fact. So your positioning has got to be so on point. There's 6 Blink Daggers total.
Well, Blink Gaming always just lots of aggression to come. And actually, we haven't had all that many kills, but now there's the Yule Scepter coming out. Chibix, he's around as well. We'll get the Silence. Malphite to follow up as well. Illusion does connect. Nice stun from that Enchant Totem, and Chagasaurus picks up the kill with the Fisher. So they're just getting so many pickups at the moment. And really, once the Reverse Polarity is on cooldown, in Insidious Idol, they don't have to worry about all that much.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about any huge initiation. I mean, Sven, Stormhammer, Earth Spike, Impale, it's all dangerous, for sure, but it's not like fight winning, like a 3-4 man RP. That can instantly win you the fight, regardless of what else happens. So they certainly are going to feel pretty comfortable when they know that the RP is not available to Rave. That being said, Rave are now going to smoke ups, and, well, Royer isn't in the smoke, though he does have Vendetta. Ninja Boogie and Jo just trying to sneak into the Roshan pit. Cast is going to reveal somewhat the positioning of Rave, but I think they could probably get away with this. The fact that they didn't take the haste rune is going to be pretty nice for them and their stealth antics right now, and well, now Cast is going to show the fact that this is happening, perhaps, but Roshan is pretty much already dead. This is some pretty intense damage. God's Strength used for this, however, so this upcoming fight might be a little bit tougher for Rave, even though they do have the Aegis.
It definitely will. I mean, God's Strength, such a huge amount of damage, to be honest, for Ninja Boogie. But with the Vladimir's offering, plus the Howl coming out as well from Lycan, it's a crazy amount of damage that he's doing. I think he was hitting for like 400, or close enough to 400 at the very least, with the God's Strength activated, and he's gonna have his BKB in only a recipe. Still, they have to worry about the Black Hole, man. Just 4 melee, so scary. They're gonna have to, I think, catch Chibix with that reverse polarity, or maybe with something else, but they're gonna have to catch him before they can actually fully commit.
Yeah, or they need just something to get to him, and the only stuns that they have that goes through BKB once Enigma picks that up is going to be that RP. So once that's up from the Enigma, he's pretty much free to get the best Black Hole that he could possibly wish for in any game. So I expect that to be the item for the Enigma, but it's going to come a little bit later. Still, Rave are in an okay situation in this game because their Sven and their Lycan are still getting quite a lot of farm. And really, these two heroes are heroes that can pretty much win you the game just by themselves, especially once Sven gets a couple more points into his cleave. That combined with the Empower, which has also a couple more levels to be had, is going to be able to just tear through Insidious, because they're all pretty fragile. They have a lot of sustain, but if you burst them down within that cleave, then they're going to die. But now Ninja Boogie as well as Chrissy, initiated on by the puck, but they're going to fall back. Blink forward from Chibix, in fact, laying down the Midnight Pulse. Skewer out from Chrissy, though, is going to be just fine. One more stun is there. Shagasaurus has a blink fissure, but it's not going to happen. Here comes the Nyx Assassin, thrown up into the air, and he will Vendetta away to safety. However, there's the Coil Royer. Huge RP, though. Gonna land onto 4. Ninja Boogie needs this hammer. There it is with the Impale as well. So no one's dead just yet, but there we go. The Wolf's going to come in and clean everyone up. Sunder on Ninja Boogie, and he's going to drop very low, but now God's Strength, they will kill off Chu. Ninja Boogie's still alive, still wants to go in versus Ysera, but Ysera can't turn around for that one right click. That'll cost him his life. Fissure will kill off the Sven in the meantime, but wow, what an RP from Chrissy. That was picture perfect. Put that into a textbook.
Yeah, and the follow-up was there as well, the Stormhammer, and then the Earth Spike coming through. Just absolutely huge. Of course, I think Ninja Boogie should have backed off. He got a little bit too greedy. He wanted to get one. Oh, Cast actually will fall down. Ysera coming in with the blink, snatching the kill. So in the end, I think it was a 2-for-3. So not that bad considering how huge the RP was. But still, I mean, any advantage Rave gets, they're gonna take it. And I mean, they just have such a scary amount of physical damage to come the later it gets into the game, that I'm not too sure if Insidious Idols are willing to just fight into that.
They need their Black Hole if they're going to be willing at all, and Black Hole wasn't used there. Chibix wasn't not really willing to walk into that meat grinder, so not a good chance to use that ultimate. And also, that being said, Rave also, we're not working with Jo in that. Lycan was in the jungle, I think, or somewhere on the bottom half of the map. Wasn't near that fight, and he could have really contributed a lot, because after the RP and then the follow-up stuns from the Stormhammer as well as the Earth Spike, no one was actually there to hit anybody, and that was really awkward. So they could have very quickly killed all 4 of those heroes off if Ninja Boogie had Great Cleave and had God's Strength and had a little bit more mobility to get into that fight. Regardless, it is still going to be a nice win for Rave, and just like that, RP is going to be up in another 10 seconds. You can't really count on your fight going that well every single time, but Chrissy's kind of been making it happen. I gotta say, I'm impressed by Chrissy's play in general. On the Centaur and the Mag, he's been on point.
He's just so good. Just, I guess, playing the initiation heroes. Just finds the opening, when to go in, and so far, he's been pretty much perfect every single time at catching at least 2 heroes. Of course, you would want to get more, but I mean, even 2, just getting locked down for 3 seconds solid is always a nice thing. And looks like the drawings on the map are to indicate where Insidious Idol are hanging out at the moment. Chu, of course, just finishing up his meta style, trying to push out the lanes as best as he can. But they don't really have too much global presence, so it's... If they want to fight as 4 without the Terror Blade, it might be a huge mistake for Insidious Idols.
Yeah, and it looks like that's going to happen. Smoke up from Rave as they move up to the north lane. Jayo's already there, seemingly as bait, but he has an Aegis, so if Insidious do take this bait, it's going to be the worst situation for them. That being said, the Enigma's here, and Enigma can win Insidious Idol fight pretty much by himself, especially if he has a Midnight Pulse. Initiation onto Jayo, not really going to be too much, it's just the puck. However, Viori's going to blink forward for the Impale into Blossom. That's him dead in an instant. Fissure's going to follow up, but that I think should be it. Jayo's pretty damn quick, 650 movement speed flat. He's going to chase down the Enigma, kill off a Terrorblade Illusion. That should be it, actually. I thought there was going to be more happening, but regardless, it is a nice win for Rave. And I don't think they can get anything off this because they didn't pull any huge skills out. Ysera might potentially still be in a little bit of trouble. Impale, not going to be thrown from Royer, but they know that Ysera's in the area, and he should be fine, actually. Never mind.
Well, he is just playing with fire at the moment a little bit, but had the regeneration rune, gonna be back to full mana as well now. And looks like Rave, they're also backing off to different lanes. Chrissy playing around with the reverse polarity at least felt like it. I think he cancelled it almost immediately, but man, if you fail on the cancel, it's just the thing to me. It feels like you should never even do just random animation cancelling. At least not with ultimates, because once you whiff it, you suddenly don't have any teamfight anymore for Rave. But something got picked up. Yeah, the full finished up AC for Jayo.
And if he does whiff it, then I'm sure we'll see that, and then we'll make sure that everyone knows that this guy just wasted his ultimate for funsies. But you know, he's not going to do it because Chrissy, I believe in Chrissy not to screw up like this. From what I've seen of him, that'll be just embarrassing. So they are going to go for the top lane push. Everything is scouted out by the Wolves, so Rave do know pretty much exactly what's going on here. Choose the only one who's in a vulnerable position. A blink into a skewer might kill off this Terrorblade, but then your mag doesn't have a blink in to initiate for an RP. So this tower is going to be shredded by the Metamorphosis Illusions. Now the RP onto Chu only. Going to bring him right back into Jayo, and he's going to get clawed onto that Terrorblade. There's Thunder onto Chrissy, though, dropping him pretty low. Chibix looking for a black hole. Can't really find it. Ninja Boogie all alone on the front lines. Now going to pop the God Strength. 1, 2, 3 hits. Not going to kill off Chibix. Now the black hole onto Ninja Boogie as well as Jayo. That's going to be 1 down. That's soon to be 2 down. Jayo will kill off the Enigma straight after. His BKB still up, but him and Cast have got to run out of here. Chrissy doesn't have an RP available for this one. Everyone from Rave have got to back up. They only take down the Enigma. The initiation onto Terrorblade RP, the weakest RP by far in this game, and it's going to cost them that fight and the tower.
They're going to lose about 4,000 XP, or at least a 4,000 advantage, as well as about almost 2,500 in gold, so that fight was pretty damn huge. I mean, it's suicidal. Yes, they lost the Enigma, but Terrorblade, I mean, it really just scratched him. Of course, he used the Thunder there as well, but man, just such a bad target to go for, really, Chrissy. At the very least, the game is by no means over, so it wasn't a game-losing RP or anything. Unfortunately, they didn't get the kill either, but just running into the Enigma like that, they hope to get the Enigma before the heals, but Dazzle made sure to keep the Enigma alive for the black hole to come through. And of course, Nyx had to buy back as well, hurting them even more. And looking at the graphs now, oh man, it's so crazy. And the craziest thing is that it really hasn't surpassed like 2,500 gold lead for anybody, or net worth lead. XP did drop down from 7,500 to about 5,000, so Rave still ahead a little bit with XP, but 30 minutes in, it's not all that just significant anymore.
Man, this is like some real calculus stuff going on with the net worth charts. This is, yeah, pretty much as back and forth as you can get, and well, that just means that the game is nice and even. And really, it's hard to say who has the definitive late game advantage because Terrorblade is such a huge late game hero, especially when backed up with an Earthshaker with quite a bit of farm and a black hole, but it's up against the Lycan and a Sven and everything else, so it's going to be pretty close moving forward. And now Chu might be in a little bit of trouble. Stormhammer is going to be dispelled actually by the Manta, so he dodges that one, pretty nicely done, but the rest of Rave are still in the area. Ninja Boogie's going to hit with the Poison Touch, plus on the front lines. He doesn't have the rest of his team right behind him, so that was a pretty big bluff by him, or a blunder. Either way, it's not going to be punished. And it looks like Rave, they still want to go for this, but this is going to be a full 5-on-5 clash. There is no black hole for a minute, and that's really Rave's biggest advantage right now. And especially if they run to Palosan, they will open up with the Stormhammer and annihilate him. No chance for anything from the Dazzle. And in the meantime, the Lycan is still fine. He's going to shapeshift in the BKB, trying to go for the puck. Howl is out, and here comes Ninja Boogie from the side. Hex onto Ysera. The Vision's going to interrupt everything for a little bit, but Ysera is now dead. And now blink forward for the stun onto the Enigma. Skewer back from Chrissy, going to miss that one, unfortunately. And Shagasaurus also is in the sidelines with a Echo Slam still available, but Rave take a nice fight, and now Chu going to reinitiate. Chibix going to look for a initiation, but he's going to get stunned with Ninja Boogie. 1, 2, 3 hits. Going to kill him off from Ninja Boogie. Now going to go to town onto Chu. Here's the help from Chrissy, going to lay some power down. There's going to be the Sunder. Chrissy's going to force staff his way out. He will go down. One long right click, and now Chu is going to try to go for Royer. Echo Slam is going to hit 0 people, as Royer now has a chance of survival. Has a blink out and a force staff. He will circle them around, and he will be just fine unless there's a blind fissure. Not going to happen. it's going to be Rave making their escape after taking that tower, and all in all, a pretty nice win for Rave.
I'm almost positive that Magnus actually didn't even connect onto Enigma with the reverse polarity. I think he completely whiffed it there. So, Chrissy, I guess it was a good fight to whiff it because they were winning anyway. Now, of course, the huge part is that the Dazzle wasn't even there because he got killed off just before the fight. But one thing we didn't even mention is the Puck. He actually went for an Aghanim Scepter, which he finished up before the fight at the tier 2 top lane. And it goes through Magic Immunity now, the stun of it, which is actually, what, 4.5 seconds. So, it's a pretty damn long stun to be honest. And Cheo, he got to just feel it that fight.
Well, Roshan is actually going to be spawning, and the Enigma now does have his black hole off. So regardless of the last fight, the cooldowns are going to cooperate with Insidious, especially if Ninja Boogie survives right here. Nyx Assassin is going to find and secure the kill on Dazzle by his lonesome, and that's going to be him blinking out as well, holding on to the gem. In the meantime, Roshan's still not quite spawning, but it's a man down for Insidious, though they are more than capable of fighting, especially in such tight quarters, even with a man down, but it's going to be too late. This Roshan is getting obliterated by Jayo.
Especially now that Chrissy came in with the Empower as well, just boosting up damage even more. Cast, he gonna get the Blink Hex, but he's there to counter. Man, Lion, he thought he's the one just surprising the enemy, but little did they know that the enemy was there with all heroes.
And now Rave, they have to get their way out of this Roshan pit. Here comes the blink forward from Royer. Gonna land the Impale onto Chu. Can they chain stun this Terrorblade? They won't be able to. BKB is up on him. Now he's gonna sunder Jayo and try to kill him. But Jayo's gonna be more than happy to shapeshift and then just go to town right back onto Chu. RP, gonna catch 2 as well. Those are 2 down instantly. No Terrorblade, no Enigma Black Hole or anything like that. And now force that from Royer. Gonna land the easy stun on Shagasaurus. That's gonna be his death as well. Triple kill for Jayo. And Ysera awkwardly stuck in the trees. He's going to be fine as he just blinks out. But Rave, don't think they used Cheese or Aegis in that. That was just a very easy cleanup for them.
Yeah, and Ysera actually, he wants to go for something, man. I'm not too sure if he's gonna be able to kill off any of these heroes solo. I mean, it doesn't have a Dagon or anything like that, so it's gonna be extremely hard. Ninja Boogie gonna get slowed down by the Poison Touch, and Ysera, he's gonna go in with the Silence, but man, Ninja Boogie is so tanky. BKB activated, gonna go for Ysera in return. Chrissy comes in with the Empower, boosting up the damage. Ninja Boogie though, I guess it's just a BKB semi-wasted, but now they get the stun on Ysera to follow up. There's the Skewer coming out as well. Buyback from Shagasaurus though, not gonna accomplish anything, I think. Gonna get the stun onto Ninja Boogie, but that's about it.
See, doesn't have a blink skewer, so he can't follow up on that. But if you take a, oh wait, no, Jayo's gonna go on to go in. Has a BKB available, not gonna use it. Does still have the Aegis as well, so he's gonna be playing fast and loose. But if you take a quick look at the Puck's items, he's actually gone for the new Aghanim Scepter on Puck. Makes the snap really devastating. But is that worth it? Because most of the time, the enemies aren't going to snap it anyway.
If they snap it, yes, they're gonna just be so damn sad. I mean, even if it goes for BKB as well, I think that's the biggest part of it, a 4.5 second stun. But it's not like they have 4 staves or too many of them to just force the enemy out of them to get the snaps. If they can manage to do so though, a 4 staff for a 4.5 second stun is definitely going to be worth it. But look at this, man, Lycan, he has himself an Abyssal Blade finished already. That's so damn scary. It's such a ridiculous amount of just physical damage. Plus, of course, Empower to make the cleave as well. But Ninja Boogie, oh, Blink, Echo Slam, they're gonna get the kill. It doesn't have a TP even. So, BKB TP out wasn't even a choice for him. And Ninja Boogie is sad.
Sad boys, Ninja Boogie. Unfortunately for him, on the receiving end of a gank that you really don't want to be having to deal with. Chu is being stalked by Royer at the exact same time. Unfortunately for Nyx Assassin, he doesn't have the same kind of crushing damage output as the Earthshaker. However, Sarah is going to be in a little bit of trouble now. Impale, Finger of Death is available. The damage is going to be not quite enough to kill off the Puck. And now here comes a couple illusions, forcing Cast to TP out. And that's Finger of Death used. It has a pretty long cooldown, but it will be up by the time they want to use it. Puck is surprisingly durable with this Aghanim Scepter pickup.
Well, I would have actually thought that they're gonna get the kill, but Aghanim Scepter, like you said, just making the difference there with the point booster and the Ogre Club as well, providing the stats for him. So he stays alive, otherwise could have been really devastating. I think he would have had enough for a buyback as Jayo. He activates his ultimate, he wants to go for Shagasaurus, but Shagasaurus, he has a Force Staff, he should be safe, but oh, the Abyssal Blade! Will he have enough? The Force Staff does come through. One more right click, and with the BKB, make sure to dodge the Enchant Totem stun. So, extremely nice solo kill there, of course. Had to use the BKB as well as the Shapeshift for it. But a kill is a kill, and Poloson, can he escape? He has a TP, he should be just fine, but maybe hanging around for a little while too long.
Well, he's going to circle around Cast, and he's going to lay the Observer Ward down. So now he knows that there is someone in the area. Cast should not know that Palossand is here, and yeah, he's going to teleport home safe and sound. The BKB on the Lycan is at minimum duration now, so he will not be able to get more than 5 seconds of magic immunity for the entirety of this game. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Lycan to withstand himself all the damage in these fights. But it's going to be a lot easier for him to commit the BKB charge on killing off a single hero like Earthshaker. And we just saw exactly how much damage he put into that Earthshaker and how quickly that was done. He didn't have Empower on him, I don't think, so it could have been even faster. I would also really like to see either Nyx Assassin or Lion pick up a Vlad's. That pickup is going to be so huge for Rave.
Well, they do have a Vlad's on Lycan, but I guess he's gonna have to sell it at some point. Blink in from Rior, who actually managed to escape before with his own 4-step and Blink. And the Dream Coil is also on cooldown, was completely biffed. And Cast just eliminates one illusion with an easy mana drain, and the cooldown of it only 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds he can just eliminate one Terror Blade illusion with ease.
And now Jo, he's going to chase after Palossand. 1, 2, 3 hits. Actually only 2 with the Wolves as well. Yeah, I actually didn't realize he still had his Vlads, but he's going to just be going to town on single targets all day long. Dazzles and Earthshakers, maybe killing off a Puck is a little bit too hard, but hell, he can even solo a Terrorblade at this point. Jo's just doing so much damage, but he doesn't have Shapeshift, and they're going to try to go for this fight. It is a 5v4, but they're walking into an Echo Slam, and they're walking into a Black Hole, and, well, there's the creep clearing from Puck as well as from the Shaker. Suddenly no creep wave, and Rave can't do this anymore.
It's just so hard to push up against an Earthshaker, plus the Midnight Pulse, of course, doing work there as well. Midnight Pulse, a little bit of a longer cooldown, but look at how close Enigma is to a BKB. Only 200 gold away. Once he gets that, yes, Lycan can potentially get the Abyssal Blade on him, but he's most likely gonna get sucked into the Black Hole while trying to go for the Abyssal Blade, I think. Reverse Polarity can also stop it, but oh, the Hex onto Zero immediately. There's BKB. They get the Stormhammer, nice 4 steps, but there's the Reverse Polarity onto 2. They're gonna get Chibix. No Enigma, no Black Hole. He doesn't have buyback either. There's the BKB from Chrissy even on the Magnus. Buyback from the Puck does come out, but that was just such a great engagement there.
That was an amazing Hex from Cast. There might be a little bit more as Ninja Boogie still has a little bit more God Strength to work with. Blink Skewer, not going to happen as Chrissy now is on the run. Chu's going to get healed up, and now the coil gets deployed onto this mag. Jagosaurus is now here trying to go for Ninja Boogie. He doesn't have God Strength anymore. Still has a heart, so he's pretty survivable. Where's the Lycan? Here he comes from the sidelines. Going to kill off Jagosaurus, and then gets sundered from Chu. He's going to have to back off right now. The damage from this Terrorblade is pretty high, but Royer's going to come in with the Vendetta hit. Not quite enough. Needs one more tap to kill him off. Lycan's going to chase him down. No, it's going to be the Mana Burn to finish him off. And now the Puck, the last one to survive for Insidious. He's going to survive, but the rest of the team and the Ancient is not going to. That Hex on Cast was pretty much just game-winning. Got it on the Puck, and you rarely expect that as a Puck.
Yeah, it's just really nice reaction coming in from the Lion, and that just goes to show how powerful a Lion can actually be, just with the double lockdown that he has. And of course, the Earth Spike, at least earlier on, perfectly comboed up with the Reverse Polarity as well. So just nice draft as well as, great execution. 4 melee heroes almost just completely backfired for them, but they made it work, and just nice 2-0 victory here.
Yeah, so I still wouldn't recommend picking up this many melee heroes, but if your heroes are this burstable, or this bursty with the Lycan, as well as this survivable, take a look at Sven's items. He is so hard to bring down, and it's going to very heavily benefit you. And Rave, it seems like there was just one fight that just cascaded them into that loss. They could have, if they held on with the Black Hole, the Echo Slam, then it would have been fine, but they deployed the Echo Slam, wasted at the last stages, and Enigma really couldn't get any Black Holes off. So, unfortunately for Insidious, that's going to be a 0-2 loss, and that is going to close out the series.
Yeah, guys, so that was the last game for the day as well for us. I think HeflaTV 2 is actually going on at the moment with House of Gamers versus Bennett +5. Grandis, we should be casting it, so check out HeflaTV 2 for more Dota. But we will be back tomorrow at 13 CEST with MVP versus Rave or MVP versus somebody. But tomorrow, 2 more games coming out, 2 more 2-game series for the Mineski Pro Gaming League. And the group stage should be rather exciting. Insidious 2-0, Rave 2-0 as well at the moment. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to drop a follow to just show your support on this channel as well as our other channels. You can find all the links below the stream, as also to our social media. And Mike, where can people find you personally?
I'm going to be on Twitter and Twitch on @MikeLoris, and really most of the time I'm going to be on these HeflaTV channels. And HeflaTV 2 is still on, guys, so I encourage all of you to go over there and give Grandis some support. He's solo casting, and that is hard business, so Yeah, might join him a little bit later, but as it stands right now, that should be about it for us.
Yeah, guys, so just have a good one checking out Grandy's casting on HeflaTV too, and just hope to see you back tomorrow for more Mineski Pro Gaming League.